So today we're going to talk about your awareness of being whoever you want to be, because that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, because now is the only moment that there is. Everything else is literally an illusion. There's just right here, right now. In fact, by the time you say now, it's already gone. Now, it's already, now. Yeah, that's actually how it works. It's already freaking gone. So who are you now? That's why it's all about the, sorry, I have an itch. That's why it's always about the I am, right? You hear a lot of people, certainly if you're going on a lot of YouTube sites, and stuff, you're hearing about the I am, be the I am that I am, I am God, etc., etc., etc. Well, the whole point is, who do you declare yourself to be? Who do you say you are? But it's not who do you want to be? Who do you hope to be? Who do you see yourself as being in 6 months or a month or 2 weeks from now, or whatever it is, however long you think it's going to take for you to get there? Well, that doesn't work, because you can't get there, because there's no there. There's only here. There's only right here and right now. So it's who you are being now that counts. Who you were yesterday doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. Every little bit of it it's gone. It's already gone. It's your mind believes, oh, that's a memory and that was yesterday. No, that's just one of a infinite number of pictures that your mind has taken out of infinity and said, that's your past. And it puts all these little pictures together and makes up a story about it, because there's no time, remember? So it's impossible for us to have a past. So this is why it's so important who we say we are now. And what I mean by saying that is, who are you aware of yourself being? Are you aware that you are the person who's hoping that this technique or that technique or whatnot works? Are you the one hoping that it works? Are you the one imagining that it's going to work 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 3 days from now, 24 hours from now? Are you imagining that, you're going to hope, and then you're going to open your eyes and be like, oh my God, is it there? You like how I do that? That's why you don't, like I say, you don't look in the trash can, you don't look in 3D, you stay in your inner world, because this is the outer world of 3D is the old news. It's the old news, right? So you're in your imagination. So when you are aware of yourself, because you're imagining yourself being the person you want to be, or having the thing that you want to have, and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, this is freaking awesome, right? Stay there. You stay literally in your imaginary world, just like a child would. You stay in your imaginary world, and that becomes your real world, your true world to you, because let's face it, the 3D world is rather unpleasant to most people. So, because they haven't switched it around yet. So it's like being an actor, right? So when you become an actor, and you become a good actor, because we all know who the good actors are, right? That we've seen, out there in our lifetime and stuff. And boy, they are the ones who get into it so much. You're just like, they go for it. They just absolutely go for it. They become that person. And a couple examples off the top of my head. One would be, and this was from a long time ago, but Val Kilmer in the movie about The Doors, about Jim Morrison, where he played Jim Morrison. And I remember reading an article on it, and he, on the set, while they were making the film, he wouldn't let anyone call him Val. He didn't go home at night and become Val and have dinner as Val with his wife or girlfriend or whatever, He was Jim Morrison 24/7 from the time he took on that role till who knows how long afterwards. He considered himself Jim Morrison. He made everyone call him Jim all the time, whether he was on the set, not on the set. all of it, because he became that. He's like, I have to believe this. I have to embody this. I have to, it's like you're literally like, you're channeling that person, you know? You are literally embodying and channeling that individual. And that's what you're doing when you're going to become who it is that you want to be. You put it on like a suit. You put it on and you wear it 24/7. You live it because that's who you are now. And it's not like a costume you're going to take off later when you get your stuff. And that's why people are like, oh, I'm imagining. And then they're like, they go back and they look at their 3D world. And it's like, well, don't go back to that 3D world. You are not only in that character of this new identity of the person who has what you want or is who you want or all of it, but you are so basically infatuated with yourself and your own inner world that 3D is kind of an afterthought. It's kind of like, have you ever seen people, and let's say you go to a party and they're just like, they're kind of leaning back, you know, and they're just like, yeah, feeling good. They're not like, oh, hi, hey, hi, you guys. No, they're just like, they're just having the best time. Even if there's no one around them, they're just having the best time. They're so good, you know, and they're just like, you know, and people are like, ooh, that person looks really interesting, and people gravitate towards those people. You're in your own world. You don't need anything from anybody, because everybody knows, you know, that's what all these things, social media, because people need something from you. Hey, watch my content. Oh my God, buy my stuff, and I'm amazing, and I'm great because, oh, by the way, I'm selling all this stuff, you know. So they're doing all these things because they want something, you know, and they want something from you. And of course, you know, we've gotten so used to life being like that. It's like everyone freaking wants something from me, you know, which is why, that's why I didn't want to, you know, originally even put that into this channel of myself. I'm like, I don't want to offer anything, you know, because I don't want that to be what my channel is about. Like, oh, she's just trying to get something, you know, that's why she wants our attention or subscriber or what have you. You know, people are asking me. So I'm like, okay, you know, if that many people are asking me to help them, then it's like, okay, then I will eventually, I'm working on putting something here. It'll just be in the description box. So people, if they want, like, they just need to talk to me, you know, they're like, I just need some extra help, or I need specific questions answered, or whatever it is. So it's just there. But that's like on request. It's not because I'm like, yeah, I want to do that, you know, in a way where I'm like I said. Anyway, so because everybody wants something from us, when someone just doesn't need anything at all, but they're great, they're happy, sure, here's a hug, I'll talk to you, don't need anything from you, having a great time. It's very attractive. It is very attractive. And what happens is that life comes calling. Life's like, ooh, you know, because you're just sitting back there and you don't need anything because you already got it in your inner world. You're so like into your inner world and yourself and that little movie that's going on in your head. What you find out is that everyone wants to know, whoa, who are you? What are you doing? And suddenly everyone wants to be around you. Everyone wants to give you stuff. Everyone wants to hang out with you and do things together and all this stuff. So because you're living from that place where you're that amazing person, you're already this amazing person, you know. So it's literally going to be like beaming off of you, you know, that you're like, yeah, I am this amazing person, you know. And when I was younger, I was a teenager, and I told this one story, I think it was a while back, you know. So, but I knew this girl, and she was way younger than me. I was like 18 and she was 13 at the time. And this girl and I were in this play together. And she had like a bit part in it, and I actually had the starring role. And the local like newspaper, you know, like the little magazine insert in the Sunday version of the newspaper came out to do a story about us, and they were going to like put it on the cover, So, here I am, I'm still in high school. So that was like, pretty exciting and stuff. So the guy comes out and he like starts to talk to us, to like kind of interview us for the story. And, I'm talking about things and, what it is that I do, answering his questions and stuff. And then she's just like going da 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 da. She's doing this tap dancing, and so he's like, and she's basically like, I'm fabulous, I'm amazing, I'm incredible, I am like la da da. She was just like, and he's like, she's fabulous, she's amazing, she's incredible. And I'm just sitting there looking at them both, and I'm like, well, she just told you that she was, and you believed her? What? And he's writing it down and telling everybody else. And all she did, she didn't have to prove it. She didn't do nothing. She just told him who she was. And he's like, okay. And that's how the world is. You tell it who you are, Oh boy, I wish I got it back then. I wish I got it back then, when I was like 17. Would have saved me a lot of time. But you tell the world who you are, and the world will be like, oh, okay. You choose your own role in this play, in this whole greater movie of planet Earth. So, but people will accept who you say you are. If you're the one that's worried, that's scared, that has this issue or that physical condition or whatever, you're writing that story. You are accepting that role in this play, in your play. You're accepting the role. So instead of accepting that role, accept the role, of course, of the person you want to be. Because if you're like, that's who I am, and I'm like, this is who I am. This is who I am. That's it. This is me. You want to know about me? That's me. Well, that's not who I remember you. This is who I am now. That's who I am now. Yeah, but you used to be, well, that doesn't matter. This is who I am now. I'm choosing differently. I've changed my name. I changed this. I changed that. Whatever it is, and maybe there'll be a few people who are like, I am your mother and you've always been, it's like, too bad, it's like, you don't have to stay the same for anybody else, and anyone who wants you to, because they want you in their movie as the character they want you to play. No, because if it's not you as your best, most amazing, fantastic self, you don't want to play that role. So now another example was about people playing roles and how those roles affect them every facet of their life, because who you say you are, that role you're playing in your head and out here is going to be who you're going to become. That is going to affect your reality. Look at Heath Ledger in The Joker, right? I mean, he embodied that character. And look what happens to people who, if you embody negative characters, it's not going to have a good result. Obviously, you want to embody and become the person, with the amazing, wonderful life, who's happy and who lives in an amazing, wonderful world. Because you don't just rewrite yourself. What happens is when you rewrite yourself, you change who you are. It's not a temporary thing. This is what I'm doing now thing. I'm making an announcement. I'm making a declaration. This is who I am. And you're going to look at that, and that what you're looking at becomes your reality. That's why your focus and who you say I am, that's what that's all about. This is what people talk about all the time, right? So who do you say I am? I am. Well, if you are that person who's still waiting for things to happen, who hasn't gotten their manifestation yet, who, is living in a world that is messed up, who's validating I have a physical condition, I've got one leg, I've got one leg. We can't do anything about that. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because if you're not seeing any of reality, which has already been proven numerous times, you know, psychologically, medically, scientifically, you are not seeing reality. So how do you know? How do you know? You don't. None of us would know, because what we're looking at or what we're experiencing isn't real. And that's what we got to wrap our heads around. It isn't. None of this is real. So this is a play. It doesn't matter what's going on out there, because your power isn't to go out there and try and change it. No, which you'll wipe yourself out, destroy yourself trying to do. You go in here, because it's just, what happens is that our consciousness, our conscious mind, it's all happening in here. But what it does is there's a mechanism where it projects it out. So it appears as if it's happening out there. But in reality, it is all happening in here. You know, I'm pointing here without there, actually really being a here. But anyway, so who do you say I am? Who do you say you are? What character you want to play? Do the character to the hilt. You're becoming that character. You're becoming who you want to be now, because no one will ever be able to see the real you, because not even you see the real you. So we're all playing characters anyway. And if people are like, oh, you're not your real self, well, there's a difference between being your real self, which nobody is here, because that's the whole point of here, is that you can't see or experience your real self from here. You can be your authentic self. You can be honest and true and what have you, forthwith. I was like, what is the word forthwith? And clear, and just like put it all out there, and that can be the authentic you. But no one will ever see the real you, because nobody can. You can't even see it. So be whoever you want to be. You're here in this experience. Make the most of it, man. Take it by the get in that car, slide over into the driver's seat, pull the gears to where you want them to go, and let's freaking go. Let's do this thing. Be who you want to be, and focus. Put your focus. Don't worry about the other stuff. No, because you're going to drive yourself off the road in that direction. This is why your focus is so important. That's why everyone talks about it. What are you aware of? That's the other thing. Who do you say I am? Well, that's what that means. What part are you going to play? And what are you aware of? Where are you looking? Which way are you looking? What do you spend all day long thinking about? What do you spend most of your time thinking about? How you don't have what you want? Or how it's so amazing. That was so easy. That was so easy. Oh my God. I got everything I wanted, and that was so easy. I can't believe I ever thought it was going to be hard, that I ever thought it was going to be difficult, or that I ever thought it was going to take a long time. That's the story you tell. That's where your awareness is on the story that you want, on your inner world of imagination, not the outer world of yesterday's trash and the stuff you don't want anymore. You make that, you're like a kid where you're living, in your little fantasy world most of the time. Obviously you got to do things. I understand that, but still you become not bothered by that. You become not bothered by the world. Then you are in the world, but you're not of it. And that's how this stuff fits together. So I hope that has helped you guys. I am, of course, your host, Sky Cheyenne, and thank you for being with me here for another episode of Rebuild Reality. Thank you, as always, for liking, subscribing, commenting. What was the other stuff? Liking, subscribing, and sharing. There's always that in there. And I'm going to see you guys here next time on Rebuild Reality.